and Dinky Doo. Little bit of a delay just at the start there because we had to reconnect something. How interesting. It just waits to go live. Hello, Eileen, Dinky Doo, and good evening, says come in. How lovely to have you with us, and welcome, I say, to tonight's live 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment for not just one nation, but for all nations, live on Saturday night. Welcome to every single one of you. So good that you could come and join us. It's always a good show and a fair bit of fun. Professor Numpty Heed, hello, Sir Scottie. Hello, Professor Numpty Heed. Good that you could join us. Hi, Scottie. It's Darren from Nottingham. Best wishes, Darren. Kenneth says, good evening, Scottie. Good evening, Kenneth. How lovely to have you with us, and a very warm welcome to everybody who's come and joined us. Get sharing, guys, to let everybody know. So it's very important that you share and that you follow me. Hello from Falkirk. Hello, RM250. We love Falkirk. There you are. Are you Falkirk High or are you Falkirk Grimston? Am I right? Is that the two stations? Dinky Doo. Evening, everyone. Scottie, Susan, Suzanne, welcome. So glad you could make it. Thank you for joining us. So there we go. There's Robbo. There's Big Six, Monty Gold. Who have we got here? Call Scottie now. Oh, absolutely. Give us a call. No problem at all. There's Alan has joined us as well. Alan, please don't put up the old number because it's just going to confuse people. Do you see what I mean? So it's not actually helping, if you know what I mean. There we are. And I don't want to put you in the timeout place. Hello from Glasgow, Dinky Doo. Hi, everybody. Lovely that you could join us, and a very, very warm welcome. This is good. You're correct. Absolutely, RM. That's it. Hello from Larbert, says Aileen. Aileen is in Larbert. What a fine place. A guy once came onto the telephone and he said, did I see you in Larbert yesterday? I said, no, you certainly did not. Very interesting. Very strange when people do that sort of thing. Hello, my friend. Hello, Jim. I hope you're keeping well. Glad you could join us. And I was very glad when I saw you'd pop back on the old Facebook. That's fantastic. Greetings from Neil O'Gormley. Lovely to hear from you, Neil. Are you back gigging again? That's what we need to know. There we are. Have you had a trim, Scottie? Well, a wee tidy up, just as a mark of respect for who you're going to see, i.e. you. There we are. Ho, buddy lad. Professor Numpty. There's the lovely Kirsty. How are you, Scottie? Thank you, Kirsty. We are Dinky Doo and glad you could make it as well. Everybody seems to be there. Now, the lines should be open. I'll just check. And if you come on and you can't hear me, stay on for a bit so we can sort out the microphone thing, the usual nonsense. Follow us as soon as you can, guys. Very much appreciated. How are you, Scottie? Says Alan. We're Dinky Doo, Alan. Glad that you've enjoyed us. Are you having a wee dram? Brendan, I don't wee dram these days. I've given up the booze about 7 years ago. I've got a wee dram of water. Oh, that's lush. And we'll be having that throughout the evening. Now, I don't know if you've seen the videos that we've popped up, but we're talking about should we nationalise the power companies? Now, there's one for you. Hello, Scottie. Hello, Dean. So glad you could make it, sir. And Dinky Doo, welcome. It's great to see everybody coming and joining us. So the line should be open. If you want to give us a call, feel free to do so. Have you any more thoughts about doing a phone-in 10 p.m. to 1? Well, Alan, because I have to be at work in the morning at the back of 7, or I have to leave at the back of 7, I don't think we could physically manage to do that. So it's not a question of me having thoughts. It's a question of, is it a goer or is it not? That's the idea. But we might do one night at it to see how it goes. That's what I wish to do too, Scottie. Give up the booze. Kirsty, you would love it. It's such fun because you get to know yourself again. What part of the West Coast are you from? Nearer the Glasgow side, Alan. Yes, Scottie, what radio were you on in the 90s? Oh, Joe. I was on several in the 90s. At the start, 1990, I was on Central FM, which was at that time Centre Sound. I ran the station. And then in 92, 30 years ago, we were on Red Rose Radio. 94, Scott FM. 97, Hallam FM. 98, Century in Manchester. And then 96.3 in Paisley in 2000. So there we have it. Now, Oruso Stipst, you're totally on the wrong channel. Yeah, I know you're just a wee troll and you don't understand how things work, but you're on the wrong channel. So, Orusio, you can have to go for a lifetime ban. Not a problem, guys. Just banning Orusio. Totally on the wrong thing. He's used to going trolling people, and he won't realize that you just get banned right away here for life. So that's the end of him. Thank you. No bother, Kirsty. You would absolutely love it. Scott FM Loyal. Suzanne, that was the station. There we are. Until the Dafties came in and ruined it. The Dafties. No, sorry. No, he's away. It's too late. Scott FM, that's what I can remember. That was the one, Joe. So that would be 94 to 97. Fantastic. If the energy providers, here's the lovely Susan Forrest, if the energy providers were nationalised, would that mean power cuts like in the 70s? Well, I don't think so, Susan, because if they're making profits like they're making, then there wouldn't be any need. It wouldn't be a problem. We could just reduce the bills a bit and see we didn't all get screwed. So there we are. Fantastic. He was on the best radio in the 90s, Scott FM. Absolutely, Alan. Good point. That was a belter. In fact, we might just do a show for you. Dafties. I know, Kirsty, taking away the audience's pleasure as much as mine. You know what I mean? It's just a piece of nonsense. Why would you do that? You know, why would you actually do that? Now, there we have it. Right, I put myself full screen there. I don't know if you saw anything different at home. Good day, sir. Geo Dog from South Africa. How lovely to have you with us, and a massive dinky-do. Share the live, guys, as much as you possibly can. Let everybody know if you're watching right now, whatever you're watching on, share it around your network, just to let everybody know that's kind of how it works. So that's why we need to grow the audience. Aye. Good evening, Scottie. Netties, how lovely to have you with us from Sheffield. We love that, the Steel City. Scottie, what have we got there? Scottie, what caused the blackouts in the 70s? I think it would be oversupply, you know what I mean, or something. I don't know. I can't remember. I was obviously very, very young at the time. You should put it out to the listeners, Scottie. We're doing a later phone-in. Well, we might, Alan, but we couldn't do it every night, you know. Not at the moment. Seriously, Scottie, the Scottish administration couldn't run a bath. Ferries, trains, too risky to nationalise. Do you think so, Angela? Well, they've done very well so far. Now, what have we got here? There's Eric Don Eric's having to get binned for being an idiot. What a shame. There we are. There you go, Eric. Bye, la. We'll not be hearing from you again. Remember, you never, ever, 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 ever troll Scottie McCLUE. All right, fantastic. Put that in your eye. There we go. That's him. We need you back on the radio, Scottie. The TV's absolutely rubbish now. No one's watching the telly. Well, no, they're not. And I'm not watching the telly. I'm watching YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. You know, that's what I'm watching because there's some great stuff on. There we are, fantastic. And I've got my Alexa. And you can say, Alexa, play Scottie McCLUE on YouTube. There we are, fantastic. That's what it's all about. Scottie, do you have any moderators for your channel? I don't build all, to be honest, because we don't really need them. We've been off the wee trolls that saw you crying in the supermarket, food review, all the kind of rubbish they're used to using because they've never experienced a proper show where they can come on and say something intelligent. You know, maybe they're struggling for something intelligent. But what they should do is have a listen and watch the Scottie McCLUE videos, and then they'd get an idea and then come on. You know, that sort of idea. Doing the Swanee with them, Geodog, absolutely. Evening, Scottie, rooting for Liverpool tonight. Captain Hovis. Yes, I love Liverpool, but they need to sing the national anthem properly. And zero booing. There we are. Now, there's Daniel Holt. Now, Daniel is a classic half-wit. He's away doing the Swanee for just being a wee troll, you know. Not happening, Daniel. Bye-bye, la. Have a nice life. Here he goes. Say bye-bye to Daniel every day. Now, you see, he could have had a proper conversation. I like your cap. Thank you, Ice Cream. Lovely. I love all the Scottie videos. Bill Doll, you're very, very kind. I thank you. Good evening from Beaumore in Isla, says the wonderful Ali McNeil. Ali, lovely to have you with us, I say to you. Kamaraha, umaha, hakama, falchi, kid, Emily falchi, don TikTok, agus Scotchoch McCLUE. And a very good evening. How's Beaumore looking tonight? Why don't we just have a lean against the round church and have a look down the street? I would enjoy that. We love Isla. Here's Louisiad. MAGA, Make America Great Again. I think America's going to be great. Now, what do we think about, obviously, the latest tragedy? There's a lot of debate about the gun lobby and the National Rifle Association. Take the banner off, Scottie. That'll be the day, Alan. Away you go. Now, where'd you get that from? We've never, ever taken the banner off. Except, I think, when I did the tribute to Manchester on the YouTube channel. You'll see it there before it gets taken down, because it was the anniversary of Manchester last week, remembering the 22, and I put up the tribute I did the day after. There we are, doing the Swanee with the trolls. My father has just got Alexa. By gum, Alexa doesn't talk Yorkshire. I shall get measure of it, like. Alexa, lass, aye. Get us Scottie McCLUE. Kind of sharpish like, eh? That's it, lass. Cheerio, Danny. Try and not ban your head doing the Swanee. Is away, Kirsty. Did you sleep with the bonnet on? Of course. Most of the heat escapes out your head. Alexa, phone Scottie. It's not working. No, numpty. You won't have the number programmed in. If you were to program it in, she could do that. There we are. Okay, I know, Kirsty. There we are. Now, who have we got here? How's you, Scottie? Glenn, how lovely to hear from you. And Dinky Doo. Are the phones working, guys? Let's just check again. Somebody trying to get through there. Right, you should be able to ring now. That's it. And give us a call. Let us know what's what. Who have we got here? Newcastle United. Fantastic. We're fine, Glenn. Glenn, I managed to put your call up the other day. Hola, says Elucia. Lovely to have you with us. Hello, you're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Hello? Oh, hang on a second. We'll do the mic. There we are. Stay on. Let's get started. Hello? Thank you, do. Who's that?
Andy Frybrook's again, Scottie.
Andy Frybrook's, how lovely to hear you, and a big dinky do to you.
Nice one. I'm just going to tell you about my day today, Scottie.
Yes, do.
I took my missus to Linlithgow with me today.
Oh, wow.
And I said to her, there's a statue there in Linlithgow, and she was all excited, and she didn't know what I was talking about, really. And then I showed her it. You know what I'm talking about, the black bitch of Linlithgow.
Of course I do. The wee dog that swam out, and they're wanting to change the name of it.
Yeah, even in the local pub changed its name as well.
Yeah, I think that's a shame, actually. I don't think they should have had to do that. We need to explore this political correctness a lot deeper before we ever take action. And what I would like to see, Andy, is we set up an organisation for culture and traditions. And if you don't like something, then you have to make an application to that, and a proper panel judge if it has any merit or not. Like, for instance, we weren't allowed to have white Easter eggs because it's the colour white. Now, that is a piece of nonsense. We must be able to mention all the colours.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
You see?
The woke society.
Well, the woke society need to be pulled out into a very public arena and explain themselves. We should never, ever, ever, ever take action on the say-so of a woke person.
Yeah, but before I went to Linlithgow, I went to Falkirk, and I didn't know John de Graham was buried in the graveyard in there.
Yes. Was that the de Graham of Grahamstown?
Yeah, I went there and I took a wee picture. I didn't even know that. It was strange.
See, Andy, there's a whole world out there. People need to open their eyes.
Yeah, especially me.
No. You're making an effort, and that's fabulous.
Yeah. So, what happens when people want to ban stuff like the Orange Walk? The woke people. How does that work?
Well, the Orange Walk. Well, we have to then work out why they want it to be banned. We have to involve the orange people themselves. We have to get them to tell us exactly what they're all about, why they think they should walk. And we need to drag the woke people out into a very public arena, and they have to identify themselves and say why they don't think they should walk.
Like you said earlier about the eggs, it's colours, isn't it?
Well, what we used to do here, you see, is, do we ban the green man at traffic lights?
Need to use that anyway, Scottie.
You see? So
I think they should ban it.
You see, we used to sort all of this out on Scottie McCLUE's phone-in on Scott FM.
Yeah, I remember,
And we actually all discussed it. The phones used to go berserk. And we discussed it for about 3 hours a night. Sometimes it went on to the next night.
I remember that,
And therefore, people were having a great time. They thought, I'll phone Scottie about this, and we'll sort it out. And that's what should have happened.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, see, I was going to say about Linlithgow.
Here's Booney saying, dinky doo.
It's a very hard place to spell.
Linlithgow.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's hard to spell?
Because when I put it in my sat nav, I ended up in Pullman.
Ah, right. Yes. Well, maybe you'd misspelt it. See, I think we should do up Linlithgow Palace, and I think we should get it under reparation of damages from Westminster.
Yeah, I've been in that palace a few times. I used to take the grandmans in there and play hide and seek.
Well,
in there all day.
You could play hide and seek all day in there and never get found. What we need to do, though, is get that totally re-roofed and re-floored. New windows in the lot.
Definitely all landscaped outside and a bridge as well. Get the drawbridge back up. I would say that.
Here's an idiot called Matthew. We're just going to dump him down the Swanee. Matthew, if you'd been able to grow up, you could have had a proper conversation. Bye-bye. There he goes. Right. End of Matthew.
I'm going to hang up and I'll let Matthew phone you, Scottie.
No, Matthew's finished. He's away down the Swanee for being an idiot. Matthew, not everybody has his lifestyle. There he is. He's blocked now. No, that's lovely. Good to hear from you, Andy, and thank you for raising that. You're quite right.
Yeah, you just spoke to the guy with the Bible.
He's got, no, that's a different Matthew.
Thank you, this guy.
Thank you, dear. And you're in the Bible as well, but we'd call you Andrew.
No. Barabbas, mate. Barabbas.
Barabbas. Dig free Barabbas, the crowd shouted. Dinky-doo. There we are, that's Andy, free Ibex, very good. Cracking snack van in Linlithgow called the Dolphin. So there they do a mean venison burger, Scottie. Big 687. That sounds quite delish, actually. Which station are you on now, Scottie? We're not on at the moment, Jam Warrior. So there we are. Well done, Scottie, competing with the Champions League final. Has it started, John? I wasn't going to change my time, and I hope we haven't stolen all the audience. There we are. Fantastic stuff. But lovely to have everybody on here tonight. And a big dinky do, I say. Fantastic. Do give us a call if you want to. Be lovely to hear from you. And you're very, very welcome. Now, let's get a look at the chat here. Scottie, give us a wave, says Wally. Hey, hope you're well, big chap. Absolutely. Scottie, name me Europe's only private army. I would think that would be the Atholl Highlanders, Robert. Am I correct? That's as far as I know. So there we have it. Unless, what about the Swiss Guard that look after the Pope? But I don't know that they'd be classed as a private army. I'll go for the Atholl Highlanders. Yes, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
It's David, how are you, son?
David, son, it's lovely to hear you. I was hoping you'd ring tonight because somebody's just told me there's football on.
Well, the football was running late because people started all these flares, all that rubbish. So they actually put it back a wee bit, you know.
And did they sing the national anthem?
No, there was a woman singing from France. She was very, very Spanish, in fact.
Very nice.
She had a lovely figure. She was singing for ages.
Oh, that's wonderful. So they didn't sing the national anthem.
No, that I know of, Scottie. They said they weren't happy with the players. They were trying to stop and get the trouble started, you know.
Johnny Boy Johnny says, what's the burgundy shield behind you? That's my old school, Johnny Boy. There we have it.
Oh, my Johnny Boy, right?
No, this is another Johnny. I think this is another Johnny Boy. He's calling himself. He's calling himself Johnny Boy Johnny.
Johnny Boy Johnny, that's right, okie dokie,
my
friend, you know. See, let's carry on with this. Well, let's go pub. Leave it alone, man.
I know they should have left it alone. Nobody should have to do. You see, I can remember somebody saying, they're not putting a Christmas tree up in the town. I says, how? He said, well, they think it might upset the Muslims. And I said, look, has anybody actually asked the Muslims? And I bet the answer was no.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to ask a Muslim what I want. Do you know what I mean?
No. I mean, it's you see, all this kind of nonsense, this woke stuff, we need to draw them out into the public arena.
Right, it's a true disgrace.
And we need to say, okay, what's your problem?
So this carry on in America, again, the thing, America's really bad and they poor children that was killed. Oh my God.
Dreadful. But having said that, they've got this right to bear arms. And if you look at the fact that, most of these shootings, somebody is mentally ill and should never have had a gun license.
Exactly. Now, all these, right, you're intelligent, right? I'm trying to put it, I was watching.
Well, you're very kind.
I was watching a Channel 5 man interviewing a man a few days ago on the news, an important man from America, and he was arrogant towards one of your news presenters. He was pointing in his suit. He said, America is a lovely country. And the reporter says, well, you're getting funds from all the guns. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think the other way to look at it, though, is that America has never had, apart from after the Battle of Independence, it's never had a war in its own land. And I think one of the reasons for this is that the American citizens are effectively a private army. And if anybody ever attacked America, they could all get together, you see.
Aye.
It's quite interesting. And the bulk of them, let's be honest, if every American can have access to a gun, they're pretty well behaved in general. Now,
it's mad area, Scottie.
There's never any excuse for what's happened, but
don't get me wrong, we get gun culture in another country, but not like that.
Well, we don't have a gun culture in this country, not a legal one. And yet Dunblane happened. And yet Dunblane happened,
That Dunblane, that's that time Dunblane, that was awful saying. And that was an older man that done that.
Yes.
That's very strange, right?
Very, very strange. The whole thing, you know what I mean? It was just awful.
He was off his head. Oh,
And it was the day after my father died.
Was it, Scottie?
Yeah.
Dear, you know, that's terrible.
But the one thing, I'm glad my father didn't see that, because he would have been terribly upset.
He would have been shocked. Your poor wee father, God rest his
You know,
soul,
God rest him, I say. Lovely man. And he would have been 100 last week.
100 next week, oh my God.
Last week. If you see, I don't know if you've got access to the TikTok, Davey, but you'll see a video of him. I think it might also be up on the YouTube, and you'll see a video of him, a picture of him. He was a handsome boy.
I'll look for it. If you had some shoes, my friend.
Oh, he left me standing.
Right.
My mother used to say, "You'll never be a man like your father."
There you go. And your wee mammy passed. When was that again?
She's away. She went in 2000. He went in March '96, the day before Dunblane.
Right.
And she went in 2000.
Do you still feel them in your house? Do you understand me?
Do I still feel them in the house? Well, I'm not in that house anymore.
Okay,
but I do think the spirits are always around. They're only in the next room. They're only in the next room, Davey, you know?
Yes, of course, son, you know, that's, you know, but just to say hi, and I think of you quite a lot, you know. You're
Davey,
a top man.
You're a top man. Now, listen till I tell you this. Here's the wonderful Neil O'Gormley. And Neil is down in Dorset, in Bournemouth. And he says, in some states in America, you can't get a driving license until you're 21 or 25 years of age. But you can purchase...
Right, that's confusing me, because apparently people in America are allowed to drive. Is it true at 16?
Well, I don't know. He's saying till you're 21 or 25 years of age, but you can purchase an assault rifle at 18. Crazy.
That's nuts. That's just nuts. And unbelievable. You know, it's terrible, right? You know, disgusting.
You know, it's very, very strange. So there you go.
Yeah. John, you're a driver, right? So is it true in America people can drive at 16? Right, I thought you knew that for sure. Right, he's not sure at all there.
Well, Neil's pretty good, and he's telling me 21 or 25, depending. Right. See, all the states will be different, Davey. The states, because there's 50 states.
You know what I mean?
What's that, my dear fella?
You made a good point about the electricity.
Oh, yes. I think, well, I've put a video up. I don't know if you've managed to see it, but I've put a video up that I did today from this morning's show. We did a wee show this morning. And I put a video up, and it's asking, should we nationalise the power companies?
Right, so you teach me more. What nationalise? What can we do to help us with nationalise?
Well, wait till I explain to you. In 1948, the 1st of January 1948, after the war, they threw old Churchill out. I don't know why, but they'd had enough of the South. And they threw him out, and in came a Labour government under Attlee.
Okay.
Now, Attlee had been Churchill's deputy in the national government.
Right.
And Attlee himself was a public school boy, right? Haileybury School. Now, so Attlee took over, Clem Attlee, and he took over, and they decided to nationalise the mines, because the mines had been owned by very, very rich people who got even richer by owning the mines. And some of them weren't terribly kind to the miners, so the miners worked in dreadful conditions. But others owned several mines, and I think it was they had an inquiry. It was only an inquiry, and it was one of the dukes they had in the stand. And they said, we believe that you own whatever, half a dozen mines. They said, do you think that's a good thing? And he goes, oh, I think it's an excellent thing.
There you go. So
that was him, because he was getting the money for the coal.
Yeah.
You see? But some were very good. Now, what happened, there was a particular there's a huge house in Yorkshire called Wentworth Wood House, right? And I know this house really well. And it was over what they called the Barnsley Seam. So the owner of Wentworth Wood House, Earl Fitzwilliam, became very wealthy through coal, even although he's very wealthy through everything else. And the Barnsley Seam, but he was very, very kind to his miners. And
the miners,
and all the grounds of the house were used just like a public park. You could go right up to the front door. Anyway, Emmanuel Shinwell, who I remember very well, Lord Shinwell, he was one of the old lefties, and he became the Minister for Fuel and Power, and he ploughed up the gardens of Wentworth. Just out of badness, because he didn't want a rich man to have these beautiful grounds. Because the coal under the gardens...
The rich man should help us out.
Well, the rich man did help them out. That was the problem. You see? And the head of the Mine Workers Union wrote to the government to say, this will go down very badly. These are good people. And Shinwell had the chip on the shoulder. So that's why I say to all your lefties, dump the chips off your shoulders, because it's not going to make any difference. You know, the people that want shot of the monarchy because they were brought up in one room, you know, I mean, that's not going to help the rest of us, you know. Some of us were brought up in 2 rooms.
I mean, you know, just listening to what you say, as you know, you're a very, very amazing, clever man. I don't know if you've ever wrote a book. Could you tell me, you know?
I've written the start of a thriller called Deliver Us from Evil. And you can get chapter 1 on YouTube.
Right, I'm going to try and go into all that.
So you go into YouTube and just put in Scottie McCLUE, Deliver Us from Evil, and you'll get chapter 1 of the thriller.
It's great, you know. And before I go, so my electricity and gas, right, by the end of this month, they want a total of £145 off me for gas and electricity, which I agreed to pay. But they said the old company wants money and all, and I said, excuse me, the old company went bust last year. They're not getting a penny. So me and John is disputing that.
Well, because wait a minute, just watch who you're paying, Davey.
Oh, I know. I made calls about this to a certain company.
Just
helping me.
Good for you. I love this certain company stuff. Good for you, Davey. That's what I was trying to get at in the early days. You're a top man.
Yeah, as I said, I've got a certain company helping me out, and even they said, no, that company went bust. They should not get a penny. No, don't just watch who you're paying, because it might be just filling somebody else's pockets. I'm not stupid like
no.
This. We're very clever. These people try to rob us left, right, and centre.
Yes.
What I mean?
Well, they're not doing it. You know, we've had enough people trying to rob us.
Any hell, they can go down the Swanee.
They'll be away doing the Swanee. Now,
right, son.
You take great care of yourself, and Dinky Doo, and love to you and John.
Okay, Dinky Doo, Scottie.
Dinky Doo, la la. There we are. That's your Davey on for a wee chat there. Great guy, actually. Always enjoy a chat with David. I did say in some states of America, says Neil, in other states, you can drive at 16. Absolutely, Neil, and that's the point I was making on your behalf. McClue speaks for the nation, because I knew all the states would have different laws. What's your tipple, Scottie? John, my tipple is the Scottish water, Adam's Ale, the Aqua, the Kunsel juice. Oh, that's lush. It was a shame that Mansfield Town came up short against PV. So there we are. Angela, what a shame. Have you been to Kirkstall Abbey Museum? Kirkstall or Kirkstall? Which one's that? Fortnight. You'll need to tell me a bit more. Hello, Scottie. I haven't watched your YouTube channel, but a big fan of you on here. Scouse Laser. You're very, very kind, and a big dinky do to you. You know I'm a big fan of yours. Guys, can everybody share? If you're watching, get sharing. There we go. I know people will be watching the football tonight. Dinky Doo Scottie from Wilmington in North Carolina. Kayak. So lovely to have you with us, and a big dinky doo to everybody in North Carolina. I have a huge, huge audience in America, which makes me think I might just come to America and do your late night television and radio. Would you watch and listen? That's the thing. Hi, it's Sally from Stroud. Stroud in Gloucestershire, Sally. How lovely to have you with us, and a big dinky doo to you. Fantastic stuff. Now, what do we got here? Scottie just joined tonight as the football's on. Danny, I understand. I hadn't realised I got my timings mixed up. Not that that would have made any difference, though, because you've got to take the rough with the smooth. And I hope we haven't pinched all the audience from the football. Otherwise, the companies will be after me. There we are. Dinky Doo. Absolutely, sir. Thank you, Kayak. How wonderful to have you with us in Dinky Doo. There's lots of lovely flags from user 74369. What's the most mispronounced town name in Scotland? I would think it'll be Milngavie, just outside Bursden. There we are. I would think so. I think Milgai or Mulgai will be the most mispronounced. I once heard an English reporter on the national news mispronounced 3 Scottish places at the one time. Scottie, can you say a big A up, lass, to my lady Lisa, please? And can you ask her to get kettle on for a cup of Yorkshire tea? Netties, no problem. Lisa, lass, come on, get kettle on, love. So there you are. Did you hear about the magic tractor? No, John. Tell me about the magic tractor. Port Vale have won the league to play off in the final, according to Angela. Yes, Milgai, I would think so, Suzanne. Now, Ian, are we right? Do tell. Spill, I say to you. There we are. It turned into a field. Woo! I see what you just did there, John. Did you hear about the magic tractor? It turned into a field. So there we are. Fantastic. There we are. I remember a lady who said she was magic, and she was out, and she sat her hand on my knee, and I turned into a lay-by. There we are. Fantastic. Now, who have we got here? Suzanne, thank you very much for joining us. That's absolutely brilliant. If you've just joined us, folks, you're watching Scottie McCLUE, the First Lord of the Internet. Hashtag FloTie, all uppercase. Hi, Scottie. Finland ball. How lovely. It's got to be Achilty Buoy, Scottie. Chris Grant, how wonderful. Achilty Buoy. There we are. I used to play down at the steps on the pier at Tobermory, and this lovely boat came in called the Loch Buoy. There we are. I think it is. I'm struggling to think of others. Maybe Ochtermachty. No, I thought Ochtermachty was an exclamation. If you'd bumped your knee or something, oh, Ochtermachty. There we are. Fantastic. Achilty Buoy. We love all these places. I think it'll be Mulgai, but I'm always willing to be told otherwise, as you all well know. There we are. Now, what else have we got? Anybody else think of any Scottish towns that are hard to pronounce? Well, what about AVOCH on the Black Isle? AVOCH. How would we pronounce that? All right, AVOCH. Where is better, Cooper or Glasgow? Well, I think Cooper would be CUPAR or ER. Cooper. I think it's Cooper. I used to go out with an astronaut, but she said she needed space. No, that not at all. I think that's absolutely fantastic. I went out with a girl who did judo, and when she asked me out, she really threw me. You know, it was wonderful. And then I had a night out with a lady clown, and she said, Scottie, can we take your car? Because if I start mine up, the lights will flash and the doors will fall off. So there we have it. The phone's not on, Scottie. Well, wait till we see, Jerry. Right, phones are on now, guys. If anybody wants to phone, they should be on right now. Give us a chance. Kirkcudbright. Yes, Kirkcudbright. Kirkcudbright. Fantastic. We like that. I remember going for an interview at NASA and they said to me, what do you think the job's about? I said, well, it's not rocket science, is it? So try the phones, Jerry. See if we can get you on. That would be rather good. Stenhousemuir. The Stenhousemuir, Angela. I think that would be the one. JD Donnelly says Kirkcudbright. There we are, across the water from me. Absolutely, Chris Grant. Which one is? Oh, phones. You're live on Scotty's phone in.
Absolutely, Chris Grant. Which one is?
Hello? Hello?
You're live on Scotty's phone in.
Oh. Hello? Hello? I think that one's listening to himself coming back. I don't know who that is. So there we are. Fantastic. Remember, if you're calling, to turn down your end of it once you get through. Across the water from me, says Chris. Oh, yes, of course, Chris. Avoch. The best way to say it is och. You're 100% correct, sir. Okay, bad jokes time. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. Fruit flies like a banana. Love it, Neil. Major feedback. Oh, very good feedback. No problem at all. Right here. You're live on Scottish phone in. Who's that? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? No, somebody's not getting it. There's quite a delay there. Very, very interesting. Right. Good morning, Scotty from Australia. Dinky Doo. How's the first lot of the internet? Frank Mayer. So lovely to have you with us, Frank and Dinky Doo. There is no L in Kirkcaldy. Professor Numpty Head, what's happened to the L in Kirkcaldy? Should we be calling it Kirkcaldy if there's no L? Would that make sense? The connection's not so good. Roller Truckle, the connection should be brilliant tonight. Fantastic, especially when we're on during the football. I never say I was going to watch the football, but I see Scottie McCLUE's on the internet. I'll just go and have a listen to him. There we are. Now, what have you got? How many L's are there in can? There we are. Greetings, brother. Hello, Aidan. Dinky Doo. How are you getting on, my boy? Fantastic. There's Aidan. Now, the connection is not so good, says Rollo. I think the connection is quite good. Where's the number? The number you need to look on the YouTube channel, but I'll give it to you. It's 0141 628 9795. 0141 628 9795. We can't put it up on TikTok because TikTok, the bots think that it's somebody's private number and just take it down again. Threaten to ban me. There, it should be spelled Kirkcaldy, Kirkcawdy. Why don't we start changing things like that so we could call Mulguy Mulguy, Mulguy. Boring game 0-0. JD, excellent. So that I've been better watching Scottie McCLUE live. There we are. Alan, what's Alan saying on the Facebook? I can't see it. What's your opinion on internet dating, Scotty, especially dating someone from, say, the Philippines or Thailand? Well, I suppose the sites have to do a lot of vetting, but I don't think I would want to meet my partner through internet dating. But who knows where you're going to meet the love of your life? It can just happen. The Jubilee, my street are all wearing woolly jumpers, one size too small. It's a tight-knit community. Skin Bob! Woo! I see what you just did there. Dinky Doo. Hey, guys, can everybody watching right now start sharing this broadcast? Following me on the TikTok. Get following as soon as you can. We need major, major followers. Everybody just watches and forgets. Now, who have we got here? Ich kann nicht so gut Englisch sprechen, aber hier kann ich es lernen. Rollo Traco. Nicht Deutsch sprechen, ich bin ein Ausländer, nicht verstehen. Ja, guten Abend. There we are. Wonderful stuff. Now, here we got, there's Christopher, Jack. Internet dating is a minefield. Too many scammers. That's what I would be feared. And McCLUE's not easily feared. But I would be feared of too many scammers. Definitely. As everybody shared. The phone's doing, Scottie, numpty head. The phones are not down. Give it a ring now. Then you should get through right away. Do you like a good plate of homemade lentil soup, Scottie? Alan, it's hard to think what I like better. You're live in Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear us? Hang on a second. Let's just see what's going on here. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jerry. Have you been trying to get through?
Yes, and this American woman keeps on saying, please leave a message.
Please leave a message. No, don't ever leave a message, Jerry. You're too important for that.
Yes, exactly. So, what I was going to mention to you is a lot of people have been waiting for hip replacements. Can you hear me, Scottie?
Yes, I can. Yes, of course.
Good. It's mainly people who have been waiting for hip replacements and knee replacements on the NHS.
Yes.
And I heard a wee story a couple of weeks ago that there's a pot of money laid aside by the National Health Service. Have you heard anything of this?
No, I haven't actually heard, but I'm very interested. Press on.
Right, press on. Yeah. My brother had mentioned to me that local car dealer had a hip to be replaced. He waited a year and a half. Now, in comes the doctor. This is not a joke, by the way.
No.
In comes a doctor to get his car repaired. So it goes that he'd asked him why he's limping about. He mentioned he'd been waiting for a hip replacement. Now, he told him to get in touch with NHS Opinionated. He told him that he's a businessman. He relies on obviously being healthy and looking after his business. So that was okay in the sense that 2 weeks later, the guy gets the hip after getting in touch with NHS.
Right.
Now, I have mentioned this to a friend of mine who does loads of work for the community, and he's 79 years of age and struggling with the hip. So I mentioned to him, he does a lot of work for the church and a food bank, and I said to him, if you get in touch with NHS Opinionated and mention this because you do so well for the community, then again, I met him, was it Monday? Monday I met him. He's got a reply to see a consultant.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, that is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, this is great stuff, Jerry.
Well, what it is, nobody knows about this, but there's a doctor mentioning it, and then that pot of money is put aside. But people, I'm not saying like people who don't deserve that.
No.
A businessman, a person who looks after the community. But the guy I know, Seamus, he works hard at 79 years of age. He wrote to his MP. The MP replied, no, it's not on. We can't do anything for you. So there, when it comes, he is to put in his bit that what he thinks about the National Health Service. And I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic. Very, very interesting, Jerry. Yes.
I thought that was really good.
This is what it's about, my boy. Fantastic. Thank you.
And also, last week I spoke to you regarding television, and you obviously putting in a bid and saying that what you're worth. Hopefully you never took that personally.
Oh, no, listen, Jerry. No, in fact, I was actually so impressed with your call that I've put it up on the internet.
No, I've heard that, I watched that.
No, it was very, very good. No, Jerry, it would be so wrong of me to take something like that personally, because it's of public interest. And I actually welcomed the opportunity to explain myself, because people, like, there's another one, and the headline is 350,000 to McCLUE. I've scottied the lotto, right? And it's the front page of one of the major newspapers, and I was offered £350,000. Now, somebody reading that is going, that's just ridiculous. He doesn't deserve that, all that. So it's very important to be put on the spot and say, okay, justify it. And what I've had to do is, very often when I've asked for a certain fee, the boss has said, okay, it's out of my hands. I've referred it right to the top. Are you willing to go and explain yourself to them? And I've had to do that. And that's a big ask, because you're sat in front of the directors of the company. And it's more or less then, go on, tell us what you think it's worth. And I said, well, look, guys, what's happening here is such and such and such and such. And then if they see the value to them in you, you see, so say I was asking for £250,000 and they knew they were going to make 20 million out of me. I don't think it's a big brainer.
Well, it's last week after that I'd listened to the conversation. I thought maybe Scottie would have took that personally.
No,
but it wasn't meant that way.
No, absolutely not. As I say, in fact, from one professional to another, I hope you don't mind me saying that. It was actually very good of you to ask, because it gave me an opportunity to explain a little bit of the workings of the media, because I'm sure people sit at home and they see a presenter on £1 million a year and they think, that's ridiculous, he's no worth that, you know what I mean? But they don't realize what's involved in the job. But you have to put your money where your mouth is, and quite literally. And if I've said to bosses, I can get you XYZ of an audience, you know. For instance, I remember a guy saying he wasn't going to pay me a bonus because the bonus came in at 75,000 and I'd only got 74,000. And when I told a friend of mine that, he said, they've been very unfair to you. They should have given you something. And I said, no, the deal was 75,000. And I got 74,000. But that didn't mean that I was not chuffed to bits that I'd got 74,000 people. Especially when there'd been 3,000 listening before we started.
Good. Mentioning names there about Scottish things. On my sat-nav, some lady, she said to me, turn right at Richese Roads. I said, Richese Roads?
Richese Roads.
Richese Roads.
I love all that stuff. You know, I would like a Glasgow voice to come in and say, oh, I'm sorry, mate, look where I've taken you. You want to get out the other side of the scheme.
I like Gerald. That's good. Thanks very much again, Scottie.
You know, it's lovely to hear you, Jerry, and dinky do.
And dinky do to you.
God bless you, sir. What a fine fella, right? That's our Jerry, top man, and he was on last week, and he was asking me about, pricing in the media. And I can remember a lovely guy, I think it was actually the late Johnny Beattie, that said two things we never discuss, ages and wages. you know. But my stuff was very public. You're live on Scottish Funny. Who's that?
Scottie, it's Andrew from Govan.
Andrew from Govan. How lovely to hear from you.
I just wanted, have you ever been to a bothy, Scottie?
I've ever been to a bothy.
Yeah.
Yes. I've sung a bothy ballad. I've sung a bothy ballad.
You're going to sing one?
Yes.
I like the Aberdeenshire ones.
OMG, you talk to my late husband, Tony Bebbington, regularly. You always said it was nice. Surely, of course. Presenter has what skills to justify the money more than a joiner, plumber, or small business? Well, Alfie,
Right.
the joiner, plumber, or small business might not be good at getting a big audience.
Scottie, you still there?
Of course I am.
Hey, listen to this one. Did you know where Mark's bothy is? It's just at work long.
Right? I don't know it, no.
It's like, it's a threat. Have you ever seen the film Ice Cold and Alex?
Yes, love it.
Well, that's what like it is when you get to the bothy. It's that bad, mate. It's honestly.
Oh, well, we're not going to that. It's not as bad as that. There we are. Fantastic. I'm sure it's absolutely gorgeous. Good night, Scottie, and sleep well. Talk next week. Talk next week, Susan. I met my girlfriend in a band rehearsal when our eyes met over a Wilcox carol arrangement. David Wilcox, wonderful man. I fell in love with her and she walked me home after a concert. And what was the carol? Was it Once in Royal David City? There we go. Here we got here. Fantastic. Trying to answer this. It's funny, it's not coming on. Right, give us a ring again, folks, and we'll see what we can do for you. That's what I say. We'll see if we can get a hold of you. Tremendous stuff. I'll bring this up here. I think that might be easier. Good. That's the stuff. So what was the carol? I think we should be told, Aidan. There we are. Wonderful. Guys, I've just realised the time. We are out of time. Lovely to hear from you. God love you. Thank you for the mention. Not at all, Shirley. It's a privilege and a pleasure to have you here. And I loved talking to Tony. There we are. The Rocket Man has just joined us. Welcome, everybody. I say. I'm going to have to say goodbye to our beautiful TikTokers. We love you. Who's this? Hello, you're live on Scottish Phone In, Dinky Doo. Now, hang on a second. Get you sorted. There we are. Hello. How you doing, Numpty?
Have you broken the phones again?
I think your popularity has broken the phones.
Maybe it's because I've been pressing the redial 460,000 times. Maybe that's what's broken the phone.
Numpty, joking apart, it has been a busy night, hasn't it?
It's been far too busy, Scott. You need to stay on longer.
You need to stay on longer, or we're talking too much quality stuff.
Absolutely. Like, I've got lots to talk about and so little time to do it in. Maybe 1 minute.
1 minute. Aidan is telling us I did 3 Wilcox for the Roses Theatre, probably the first Noel. Is that with the beautiful descant at the end? Da 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 dee 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 dee. There we go.
It was probably his last Noel as well, Scottie.
Aye, well, this is it. The last Noel. No, you don't want the last Noel. You want the first Noel.
Yeah, what do you think about Boris changing the ministerial code?
Well, that's what I've been talking about this morning. I was saying I think we need to find out who's responsible for it and run it past Her Majesty.
Absolutely, because you can't go changing the rules for yourself, Scottie.
Oh, no. Although I have to say, Boris is falling from grace.
Indeed he is. Indeed he is. He'll soon have to get a job in a supermarket.
He's not as popular as he was a wee while back.
Indeed.
Now
then, Scottie.
Yes.
See, before I go, can I say good night to the nation again?
Of course you can. Press on.
All right, when do you want me to say it?
I would say it now.
All right, then. Good night to the nation.
Good night, Numpty Heed. Fantastic. Guys, we're out of time. What a beautiful show tonight. Thank you so much. Aidan says, yes, absolutely. It was that one, the Wilcox arrangement. Arranged Wilcox. ARR Wilcox. We're out of time. Good night. God bless. Dinky do. And ta-ra.